Have you ever heard of the Savannah Bananas or Banana Ball? Well, if you haven't, they're the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. And I had the opportunity to check out a game and interview their owner, Jesse Cole, and a few players in this episode of Iggy's Sports Talk.
Hold up. Wait until the whole team show up. Yeah. I'm in Neverland.
Welcome back into Iggy's Sports Talk. I'm your host, Jakey Nizuski, or Iggy for short. And I want to thank you so much for tuning into this episode. And if this is your first time listening on Iggy Sports Talk, I do my best in each and every single episode to look at the deeper aspects of sports and really be able to uncover some inspiring stories, just like what the Savannah Bananas have been able to do over the last few years and what their owner, Jesse Cole, has overcome and how he's been able to help inspire others. Same with some of the players as well. And I'm going to jump right into it of my experience at the Savannah Bananas. And as I mentioned in the intro, if you haven't heard of the Bananas yet, or you haven't seen them on TikTok, I honestly don't know how you haven't seen their stuff. They've gone viral over the last year or so, doing all these different crazy dances and antics. And they're kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball, making baseball fun again. And they've done an incredible job down in Savannah, Georgia, really gaining a lot of buzz, which has prompted them to gain not only national buzz, but global buzz. And they just started a sold out 33 city, 22 state Banana Ball World Tour. And I had the opportunity to check out a game in Brockton, Massachusetts. And I got to tell you, it was so much fun. As you can see, if you're watching the video version, or if you've listen to Iggy Sports Talk long enough, I'm a huge baseball fan. And what the Savannah Bananas have been able to do is spice up the game a little bit more, make it a little bit more not only fast-paced, but with their fun rules, with no walks, a fan can catch a foul ball for an out, no bunting, and also a 2-hour time limit. It really has made the game a lot more exciting and a lot more fun to watch, not only for, kids, but also the parents and different adults as well. And it was such a cool experience, just starting out what they did to begin the game. There was a lot of fans waiting behind the gates, and the Bananas ended up having a whole sort of orchestra with a band and everything. And they went through the crowd and then went up on the stairs and were dancing and sort of hyping up the crowd before the game. And it was really cool to see how intimate, the different players got with the fans. And it just made me think back to my younger self of how much fun I would have had, and how excited I would have been going through that experience. And I also saw them, pre-game, they did all these different fun games to really be able to get the fans in the mood and ready to watch some fun banana ball. They did this one game where, the one player from the Party Animals, which is the team that normally plays against the Bananas, and then a player from the Bananas ended up having a banana, and they were at the top of where the seats were in the stadium, and they were throwing them on the field. And then they had fans down there with big pants, and they had to try and catch the bananas, and it was a cool fun game. And then they did some other things where they had a kid who hit a ball off a tee, and he was running around the field, and the players were hyping him up, getting him all excited. And it just made me think, there was multiple times throughout just the pregame where, in my mind, they were able to make core memories for these fans and make it a night that these fans and these people who paid money to go into the stadium will never forget. And one thing Jesse Cole has said throughout his time owning the Bananas is it's important to him that you leave the stadium not knowing the score. You're just thinking about the great experience that you've had. And what Jesse has been able to do with building the Bananas, they were founded in 2016, and they had played at Grayson Stadium in Savannah, Georgia until 2022. And that's when they really decided to go on the road and start banana ball and make it sort of a national phenomenon, and make it into something sort of like the Harlem Globetrotters were able to do. But the Bananas aren't just a team, even before they just went full-time banana ball, that, were just doing all these antics, dances, and it wasn't like they were playing great baseball. They actually won 3 championships in the Coastal Plain League, which is a collegiate summer league. They won in 2016, and then back-to-back in 2021, and then 2022. And it's been so cool to see the different players that they've brought on. Johnny Damon, they had him in the game that I went to. Doug Flutie as well. They've also had, other like Nick Swisher, and some great former MLB players who have come on and, sort of gotten to play ball again in a fun sort of atmosphere like the Bananas really do put on. And I had the opportunity during my time going to the game to speak with owner Jesse Cole, as well as players Jackson Olson and DR Meadows. And starting off with Jesse Cole, he's the inventor of Banana Ball, and what he's been able to do with inspiring others to really strive for their dreams and be different is so cool. And it's not only inspiring what Jesse's built with the Bananas, but also how he's been able to help some of these players continue their dreams of playing baseball as a career. And one of those players is Jackson Olson, the Bananas' third baseman. And he actually played at the University of Hartford, grew up in New Milford, Connecticut, and decided to take a fifth year after COVID and play at Stetson College. And that's when he really started making baseball TikToks and has over hundreds of thousands of followers, not only on TikTok, but also on other social media platforms, and really became known for making baseball content. And one video that went viral for him was he was at the plate, and somebody in the crowd while he was playing at Stetson ended up yelling, "Stick to TikTok." And he ended up smashing a home run. And then that was a video that went viral. And he's sort of, throughout his time making content, has really tried to help inspire kids to strive for their dreams and not listen to the haters and just be yourself. And it's so cool how he's been able to do that when playing for the Bananas. And it was a really great opportunity to speak with him and hear about what he's learned about not only his time with the Bananas, but also making content and just being himself as well. And then another player that I talked to is DR Meadows. He's most well known recently for doing a backflip in center field, which was a play that went viral all around social media. And he had played at Columbus State University. And I spoke with him a little bit about how he learned how to do that backflip, the practice that goes into it, and then also some advice that he has for players who are looking to stick in baseball, but maybe don't know where to go from here. And before we get into those interviews, I just want to take a second to talk to you about today's sponsor, which is Versus Game. And this gives you an opportunity to make money on your knowledge with questions that are 1v1. And if you are right, then you get paid. And as a player, you can play for free, or you can play with real money by purchasing ticket bundles and going up against players that choose the opposite answer as you. And I'm actually going to be coming up with a few questions that you can interact with over the next few weeks. This week's question is, would you rather be on the Party Animals or the Bananas? And just for some context, the Party Animals are the team that always goes up against the Bananas. And if you want to see more games just like this, visit www.versusgame.com on the mobile web. And we'll be talking about the result of this question on the next episode here, as well as introducing a new question. I'm also going to be replying to comments. So after you vote, let me know your reasoning. Now, let's get into my conversation with Jesse Cole, Jackson Olson, and DR Meadows. I was curious, what advice would you give to your younger self when first starting this?
Just keep trying things, keep experimenting. Don't worry about what people think. If you get criticized, if you're not getting criticized, you're playing it too safe. Just keep trying, keep doing things, and do what you love and what you enjoy.
And is there anything that you do in the morning to remind you of your vision and why you're doing what you're doing?
Every single morning I write in my journal. I write 10 ideas every day. I write a thank you letter. I run, I listen to podcasts, and I read. It's a very relentless morning, but it sets my mindset, because if you win the morning, you win the day.
And if there's anybody who wants to do something similar or wants to be an entrepreneur like yourself, what advice would you have for them?
Put yourself in the customer's shoes and create something that you would love.
Appreciate it. So you went to Hartford yesterday. I'm curious, what type of surreal experience was that for you?
That was incredible. It was really cool being back with family and seeing my old coaches, watching me in a brand new element that they never saw me in, and being able to share it with Vinny Durubius, who is also from Connecticut, from Hartford. It was really cool.
And especially the journey that you've had over the last year or so, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Keep going on that same path and don't worry about trying to fit in. The creativity that we have here is one of the coolest things I've been a part of, and it wouldn't happen if we were just not freeing ourselves. And I think being in this environment, you're so free, and that's the big word that I've used about this experience, is that we're just all able to be who we are.
And especially in content, authenticity is so important. And I know for you, especially when you first started, there was some hate here and there, and that's going to come. But what advice would you have for people about being authentic, whether you're playing baseball or just trying to be yourself in general?
Yeah, I would say even the biggest pop stars and the biggest stars in the entire world, they get hate. They get hate more than any of us combined. And I think when you get to a level like we're on right now, where we're kind of the pioneers to this entire thing, we're going to get that. And just keep going on your path because you know it's going to happen. And if you stop because someone says something bad about you, then you're just done. Yeah.
And then last thing for you, what's been your favorite part of the World Tour so far?
My favorite part is seeing all these cities. Obviously, there are different ballparks that we're playing at and different experiences, but and different entertainment as well. But the fans are all the same. It's Banana Nation is one big group of people, and it's so cool to see everyone come to these cities that they're close to and just have fun with us. So
Appreciate you taking the time, bro.
you got it. Yeah.
It was really great to meet you. So obviously the video of you doing the front flip or the back flip in center field with the catch went viral a little bit. I'm curious, like, how much did you practice that?
A year ago today, I practiced it once. For the last year, I've probably done it 40 times in a game, so it's a lot of practice.
But did you get anybody that reached out to you who like saw it on TV on Nesson or anything like that? Like, how did you do that?
A couple of big people tweeted it out, which was awesome to see, so that was pretty cool. But other than that, it's just another day at the ballpark.
And if there's anybody who's playing baseball right now who's, struggling to go pro or struggling to keep going in terms of their career, what advice would you have for them?
Never give up, work hard, stay strong, stay positive, and live out your dream.
Really appreciate you taking the time, man. I hope that you did enjoy my conversation with Jesse Cole, Jackson Olson, and DR Meadows, and got a little bit more insight on how they've learned to be themselves and strive for their dreams. That's one thing that I really try and promote in each and every single episode, is to just be yourself and not allow the external forces to dictate how you live your life. We get every single second once. So you need to make sure that you make it count and be yourself when doing so. And if you want to hear more episodes just like this one, where I talk about the deeper aspects of sports and tell inspiring stories just like this one, make sure to subscribe to Iggy Sports Talk over on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. I post bi-weekly and have some great, exciting episodes coming up just like this one. And if you're a big baseball fan, you'd really like my conversation with Red Sox #1 prospect Marcelo Meyer. Him and I speak about the lessons that he's learned as a top prospect and how he really goes about the mental side of his game. But I want to thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you and talk to you next time. Peace.